hizi ma TikTok yote ungesikia imefungwa. Hii mambo ya wangekuwa hata wanasema hii Gen Z ni watu ya LGBTQ.
What is the government going to discuss with Eric Omondi? Really, I'm asking. What are we discussing with him? Who is he in the first place?
It's just clout chasing, in short. The young generation must remain and should remain vigilant, you know. And I'm also asking the young people, please give this government time, you know. The president, His Excellency William Ruto, is a young president. He understands. And even some of these clauses that the young generation are actually disputing, they were dropped. So what are we discussing about? What are we, why do we have all this hullabaloo? Watu wanapiga nduru hapa wanasema oh serikali. But the government. Thank you so much. My name is Zaheer Jhanda, Member of Parliament, Nyaribari Chache constituency. I really wanted to discuss a few things in regards to what is happening in the country. You can see what's really going on, which is not right. And coming from the young generation, I decided to call you guys so that we can have a candid discussion about issues affecting the young people, the young generation. And as a member of parliament, as a leader, I thought it's important that we can sit down and we can discuss something. And first and foremost, I am saddened to hear that one of our citizens passed away wakati ya hii maandamano juzi. And I think it's very, very sad, but I would like to express my saddest condolence to the family of the bereaved, and hoping that the government will take appropriate action to find out what exactly really happened, and if indeed truly that anyone, whether it was a police officer or anyone, is found guilty of that offense, then I'm sure and I'm very certain, and it is very clear in my mind, that action should be taken and the person should be apprehended in court, and then the courts will do what they do best. So thank you so much once again, and karibuni sana. So fellow citizens, I am very delighted to see the young generation participating in national affairs. Your strong voices contribute to the growth of our democracy. However, to truly transform our political landscape, the young generation must remain and should remain vigilant, and not to allow manipulative figures from previous generations to exploit your youthful energy for selfish political aims and gains. Our nation was built by our forefathers, whose efforts and sacrifices are remembered in history. Even when they held different or they differed in opinions, they respected the Constitution and the rule of law, and they actually acted within the law. So I personally urge my fellow young people, especially the young Gen Z, to express your dissent through established systems and acceptable channels to ensure that the impact is both felt, you know, meaningful and constructive. However, I feel like the way things are happening is just not right, you know. And I'm also asking the young people, please give this government time, you know. The president, His Excellency William Ruto, is a young president. He understands. He listens. He's a caring, listening president. Let us give this government a chance. We are in government. It is now only 2 years since we took over office. We inherited a debt of 9.6 trillion shillings that was taken, that we actually took over from. And you can see the government is actually trying to service. There are many things that are, I believe, they are good opportunities. Look at the housing project. It is doing very well. Over 130,000 youths are going to benefit. I mean, they're going to get, I mean, they're getting already jobs. We have signed as government bilateral agreements with foreign countries whereby we have our nurses going to Saudi, to Europe, to America, you know. So there is so much that is going to happen. And even some of these clauses that the young generation are actually disputing, they were dropped. So what are we discussing about? What are we, why do we have all this hullabaloo? Watu wanapiga piga nduru hapa wanasema oh serikali serikali, but the government is doing all that it can. So for me as a leader, I am pleading with the young generation, please let us reason together so that we can have this country prosper together. Mambo ya kupigana, mambo ya maandamano, I mean, the president, His Excellency William Ruto, said the other day, every Kenyan, every citizen has a right to picket and to demonstrate, but peacefully. Sasa hii mambo kuwana, kupeana, kunyang'anyana masimu, vita, nini, it is unacceptable, you know. And you know, our country, Kenya, leads in democracy in the East African region. If we were in Uganda today, Tanzania, Rwanda, hizi TikTok yote ungesikia imefungwa. Hii mambo ya wangekuwa hata wanasema hii Gen Z ni watu ya LGBTQ, you know. But this country is a country whereby the rule of law prevails. I mean, it is just very, very sad. But please, my fellow citizens, let's give this government an opportunity, and everything is going to work out in rather sooner than later. Asanteni.
Are you looking to maybe to try to talk to the president, maybe to look for some of the proponents of this movement? Just sit down and maybe have a conversation and find solutions to the problems.
But that is not the way to solve problems, you know. The proponents of this thing ni watu ambao wamevaa masks, wamejificha, you know. And anyone who is organizing all these things, I mean, the government knows them. But you see, government cannot negotiate with the traitors or people who want to blackmail government. No. If there's issues, let us sit down, and that's what I said earlier. Let's sit down, let's reason, you know. This National Assembly, the National Assembly is for the people of Kenya. And I can tell you for a fact, that the bill, the contentious bill of the finance, it is going to be phenomenal in the near future. The Kenyans will see what exactly will come through to pass for them to see. There are many development projects which are coming. You can see the president has done very well in the international stage. Why do we want to water down what the gains that Kenya is showcasing in the international stage? Alafu tunakuja hapa kulialia. And you see what hurts me most is the fact that the contentious issues that were raised about bread, sanitary, bread and those other ones, they're all removed. But you see, guys are saying, oh, sanitary towels. But all that the government is saying is that, for example, about sanitary towels, let us support local companies. Why do we have to create job opportunities for people in China? Why do we have to import sanitary towels from India, from China? Let us manufacture them here, and our people will get the best, and the prices will be very, very, very cheap, you know. So why do you want us to create job opportunities for foreign countries while our people in our country, they have no job opportunities, you know? So there are many things that we need to sit down and understand. And I can tell you for a fact today, 90%, 95% of the young people who are in the streets, they have not read the finance bill. So I'm telling them as a young leader, go, read, understand. Ukiona sasa mambo iko hivi, alafu mkuja maandamano.
And Mheshimiwa, just a quick question. Of course, one of the key stakeholders in the maandamano, the finance bill maandamano, is comedian Omondi. He has been so vocal against the finance bill. perhaps have you gotten the chance to talk to him concerning this matter? Yesterday alikuwa pale parliament akaweza kushikwa because he's kind of protesting against it.
You know that guy, sorry, not character, but that guy, you know, honestly, I really don't want to discuss about him. For me, I think he's a non-issue. He's not someone that what is the government going to discuss with Eric Omondi? Really, I'm asking. What are we discussing with him? Who is he in the first place?
He is claiming that he's fighting for the for the voiceless Kenyans, and also he's trying to defend Kenyans ambao wanaona ni kama wananyanyaswa.
No, that is clout chasing. Forget about that character. Forget about him. I'm sorry.
It's just a clout chaser.
He's a clout chaser. Yes.
Do you think maybe is he doing this for his own selfish gain?
Absolutely, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Where has he been all this time? Has he written to National Assembly? Has he? I mean, he's just forget about that character. I mean, it's just clout chasing, in short. Thank you.
Mashima, just to ask you
Yes.
maybe regarding to we saw it online. Kenyans sharing legislators' numbers across all social media platforms. You as a legislator, what is your take on that? And then was it right? Do you feel like cross kidogo boundary?
Well, I think yes, of course, yeah, it's not right because having someone's number is not an issue, but you see, exposing someone's private number to the public, and then you start sending messages of threats and saying this and that. It's just not right. If you have an issue, you can just raise your concerns through the correct channels. But sending messages and abusing leaders and sending funny pictures and nonsense is not acceptable. I think it's not right.
Have you received any message? Maybe
Too many.
Eh.
Of course, yes, too many. And I just read, and I read, by the way, I read the messages and I smile, and I just say we move on. Yeah.
Do you feel like what is happening in the country right now? We've seen the other day activists, some of the Twitter influential, personalities have been, arrested, allegedly arrested. We've seen People's Chairman, People's spokesperson, Bronson Mwangi, tweeting and saying that he has to go offline just for his safety.
Well, these are people who've been in this game for a long time. They're being funded by NGOs and many other leaders, and the government will catch up with them very soon. So he knows why he's switching off your phone. Why should I switch off my phone if I am not a good if I'm a good man? Why should I switch off my phone? If someone is following you, it is because you're doing something wrong. That's it. And that's why whatever they are trying to do, and I will ask the government to arrest them anytime. Anyone who breaks the law, wakamatwe wekwe ndani.
As a legislator, do you feel like it's high time, the legislator to have a sit down at the National Assembly with the Gen Z? A one-on-one
Who is Gen Z? Gen Z is the young people, and that's why guys, let me tell you, the young generation of this country are the majority voters, and they're the majority. And many of us who are in the National Assembly, what we are doing is to come up with laws that will benefit the young people. In fact, myself, I am trying to come up with a new law whereby we can have where the government can put in some funding for our young people, like the content creators. They can get easy access to money, they can get easy loans, they can use those resources to do their content creation so that they can be able to do marketing, they can do something. Those are some of the laws that we are coming up with. Because like a fund, for example, like content creators, they can come and borrow money, like the Hustler Fund, the Wezo Fund, those kind of things, so that we can support the young people of this country.
As maybe last one, the last Laugh comedy night for the late comedian Alfred Omondi.
It's sad and it's unfortunate and it shouldn't happen. This is our country. We need each other. No one is above the law. All of us are equal. That's it.
Do you feel maybe those who booed Ababu Namwamba yesterday, do you feel maybe there was a misunderstanding between what Ababu was trying to do to the creatives kumekuwa na misunderstanding mahali?
I think from where I sit, I think that was something that was very well planned.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
All right, thank you so much.
Asanteni.